I've only been doing this for a few months, okay? So I'm not up there with all of the greats, but one of the things that I did do at the beginning of this whole thing, this whole channel, I had a video where I talked about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre having the feud of the year already, and we hadn't even gotten into the half mark of the year. Haven't even gotten halfway to the year, and I was already proclaiming it feud of the year, and they hadn't even stepped in the ring and had a one-on-one match. Feud of the year. And now, after what had happened at Clash in the Castle, is there any doubt in anybody's mind that this is the feud of the year? Because it's the feud of the year. Hands down. I mean, tell me when I'm telling lies, okay? Put it in the comments. Let me know what is beating CM Punk and Drew McIntyre right now for the feud of the year. I'll wait. I got all the time in the world because I don't see anything right now coming within a mile after what we just saw. I thought Scotland would riot if Drew McIntyre lost. Sure enough, Drew McIntyre lost. And there were Scotland natives hugging CM Punk after what he did. The camera angles really made the performance, because if we would have seen CM Punk running down to the ring, I mean, it would have been, it was already a very heelish move to do, but it would have been even more of like a, oh, boo. The crowd's reaction when they realized he was counting in the ring and we're looking over CM Punk's shoulder at Drew McIntyre, that is top-notch camera work right there. And they stayed with the moment. They stayed with Drew McIntyre's face. We got to see his facial expression where he goes, holy shit, CM Punk is screwing me over. And every time Drew McIntyre has lost lately, it's been his own doing. This is the one time that we're looking at it and we know that it wasn't him. He had the match won. He was screwed. It's great storytelling right there. And then there was a video. When they piece all of this together, it's going to be like a movie. From CM Punk's debut in the PLE era, because this was his return to the WWE, but this was an entirely different WWE than it was when he had left. So this was like a debut. It was a re-debut for CM Punk. But his return at the Survivor Series, where there was like, Seth Rollins was going off in the aisleway outside of the ring, but it was the Drew McIntyre thing that everybody was talking about because his contract was expiring. He stormed out of the ring. He left, didn't talk to anybody. He was apparently, for all intents and purposes, he was shoot mad at the fact that CM Punk had shown up and essentially stolen the thunder out of the entire match. All led up to this point that you're watching right now. Just great storytelling all around. CM Punk putting on the referee shirt. There's a video of that online where he goes to Jess, the ref, and he goes, hey, you got an extra ref shirt? She's like, I don't know. And he's like, I'll take it. And boom. It's the tying of the loose ends is something that I'm a fan of because I love great storytelling. It doesn't even have to be with wrestling. I like movies. So I like great storytelling with movies. If you draw me in with a great story where I'm not piecing it together and going like, oh, that doesn't make sense, or, oh, why is that happening? Wasn't she actually across town? How was she able to get into this building and do this? Right? Like when I'm not doing that, not having to do that, and I'm just enjoying the story because it's not right in front of me, glaringly obvious that there's a hole in this story. I love it. And wrestling, I don't ask for much. I've been watching professional wrestling for a very long time. This channel is new, but I've been watching wrestling for a very long time. And it doesn't take much to satisfy my storytelling in professional wrestling. This has exceeded all of my expectations because they have kept me interested, and they haven't even had a wrestling match yet. Great storytelling. And it all seems to be leading to SummerSlam 2024. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go to SummerSlam to see this match. It's that historic. It is that big of a deal. Gonna have to see it. I'm going to have to go. Because it's that huge. First time ever encounter, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. It's got to happen at SummerSlam. It's not going to happen at Money in the Bank. It's not going to happen at Money in the Bank. And I believe that's the next PLE. So the show opens, Clash at the Castle opens with Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. I never would have thought they would have opened the show with Cody Rhodes, but I do like the way they do. I'm not mad at it because you can't put the I Quit match as the semi-main event, and if you put it as the main event, it telegraphs what would happen with Drew, inevitably what would happen with Drew. I also spoke about this at my Clash at the Castle predictions. If Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest was the semi-main event, Damian Priest would win. If it was the main event, Drew McIntyre was winning. That was my prediction because I was going at it from the Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, and where they would fit that into the scenario because Cody is as popular as Hulk Hogan. He's as popular as Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's no comparing because it's different eras, and I hate the comparison of different eras. Oh, he's just like, no. I'm saying as far as his reaction, as far as how he's carrying the company as the leader of the company, he is the guy that goes on last. So he's the one you put on last. I thought it was very uncharacteristic of the WWE model to put him on at the beginning, but it was also it's a tribute to where they see the titles lately. There's no secondary title right now. They're trying to position Damian Priest's World Heavyweight title as its own World Heavyweight title. And so for that, then it has to main event at some point because it didn't main event at Backlash. So it didn't main event at the Saudi Arabia event. So then it has to main event here in Glasgow, Scotland. And Drew McIntyre, he is going out for ultimate revenge. I cannot wait to see what happens on Monday. CM Punk might be leaving that building in a stretcher. He's going to be so angry. Let's recap the show really quick. I just want to go over what happened. So Cody Rhodes beats AJ Styles in an I Quit match. Cody Rhodes, he went full on Homelander in this match. I thought it was well done for what it was. It just kind of let the door open for this new program that Cody's going to be having inevitably with the Bloodline. We'll see what happens with that. Tala Tonga, a.k.a. Hikuleo, might be showing up there. This just furthers my point that Jacob Fatu is going to show up and be on Roman Reigns' side. Roman Reigns is like, oh, you're going to go grab some guys that got warrants? You're going to go grab some street dudes? Well, I got the street dude. The Usos, Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns against Tala, Tonga, Tama, and Solo. War Games, right? I see that. And I think that's the perfect way to do it. Roman goes to the streets and he goes and grabs his brothers. It's like something out of Fast and the Furious right there. I need my family. So Cody beats AJ. Then there's this tease of the six-man tag feud going forward. Hopefully Randy Orton turns on Cody, leading to Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. I would much rather see that than to see Solo and Cody, but I understand if they go with Solo versus Cody, you already know what would happen if they went with Cody against Solo. You already know. Don't even have to talk about it. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire capture the women's tag team titles from Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler in a triple threat match. Three-way dance. I understand why they had to do it. But it's not the most prestigious way to begin a title reign when you pin someone other than the champs, but I understand why they did it. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn have not been built up to be credible challengers, in my opinion, but given the fact that they needed a hometown win here, it's not surprising they went this route than with having Piper Niven or Drew McIntyre win. So I get it. And I thought it was done appropriately. It was what Scott Keith would call perfectly acceptable wrestling. If you know, you know. Sami Zayn against Chad Gable. This is getting to the point where they got to do something, hopefully on Monday, to let Otis just go from Chad Gable. He's got to turn on him on Monday. It's got to happen. Chad's got to be so mad. Gable's got to be so mad that he lost this match that we get Otis just getting fed up and power slamming dude. The crowd will go crazy. It's time. It's fizzing over. It's time to pull the trigger on this. Sami Zayn retains the Intercontinental title. Piper Niven against Bayley. Bayley retains the women's title. It was a solid match. Again, perfectly acceptable wrestling. Piper Niven did exactly what was asked of her, and she did a good job. And I hope they do more with her. She was really good here. Damian Priest beats Drew McIntyre after CM Punk interferes with the low blow, and Damian Priest will be going to SummerSlam to wrestle Yaringanala Gunta. That's going to be a great match. That makes so much sense to me. And that's where you go with. And then I like that they should play with the fact that Liv Morgan is really getting in Dominic's head and Finn Balor may be the one that's actually messing with her. And Dominic thinks he's like got her, but it's actually Finn. I like that. What else I like is that Liv can try to position Dominic as the leader. You know, you really are the leader at Judgment Day. You know that? I mean, Damian, you see the way he talks down to you? He shouldn't be talking down to you like that. You shouldn't be taking that from him because you've helped him get everywhere. And without you, he wouldn't even be the champion. I like that. I like Liv getting into his head, you know, as like this little tapeworm, as this little parasite that gets in Dominic's head to force him to cost Damian the match or to pretend like he's going to help Damian and then drop down and walk away to really cement the Judgment Day breakup and then have Finn Balor and Liv Morgan go their merry way. I like it. I mean, there's so much you can do with that. But I just had the idea that maybe the dissension can be caused by Liv Morgan in a very cerebral way where she's getting in Dominic's head, making him feel like he's the leader. So that was the card at Clash at the Castle, another very serviceable PLE in the PLE era, the Paul Levesque era. I thought it was well done for what it was, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they tie up the rest of these storylines going into SummerSlam, which seems like it's going to be it's going to be up there with WrestleMania if you look at the potential lineups that we have here that they're playing around with. You've got Money in the Bank right around the corner. I originally would have felt like if Drew McIntyre would have won that you would have seen CM Punk take the briefcase with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre having a match that never needed to be for a title anyways. Now you're going to have the Money in the Bank briefcase be more unpredictable. Who's going to grab it? And will there be cash-ins at SummerSlam? I'm going to have to go, right? Because it's going to be up there with WrestleMania the way this lineup is looking right now. So pretty excited to see what's going to happen with that and how they're going to set up everything at Money in the Bank going forward, because Money in the Bank is like 2 weeks away. It's right around the corner or something like that. So it's going to be a fast turnaround to the next PLE. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be, it's going to be an interesting road to SummerSlam. Don't know if I've been this excited for SummerSlam in a long time, and it's really close. It's really close, guys. But what do you think? You let me know what you think. What did you think of Clash at the Castle? What do you think going forward? Who's going to win the Money in the Bank? CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, who do you got for their first matchup? And what do you think is going to happen on Monday? Surprise debuts? What do you got? You let me know in the comments. Thanks again for everybody that is subscribed and staying with me as this community has grown. I just can't thank you guys enough. This is crazy. It feels like the fastest growing YouTube channel I've ever seen, and I'm a part of it. I'm a part of it. We're a part of it. We're all a family. We're all doing this together. Make sure you drop a thumbs up on the way out. Continue to tell a friend. And guys, like, Monday's going to be insane. What do you guys think about the show? You let me know, and I will see you soon, you guys. Stay tuned.